Hello. Welcome back to The Offer, a totally improvised story coming your way. I'm Paul, and I'm here with my co-host, Cesar. How are you, Cesar?
Buonasera e buona fortuna per tutti.
I'm sorry, do you want money?
Not all Italians are beggars, all right?
Welcome to The Offer. We're so excited this week to have the wonderful Victoria Bender with us. Say hello, Victoria.
Hola. That's as far as I can go.
Sounded like Italian to me, I gotta say. That was perfect.
That was Spanish, Paul.
Welcome to The Offer, where all the languages are one. They're all one language that I don't know.
They're all one language.
Because I can't speak what's happening. So we're gonna make a story. It's gonna be loads of fun. We're super pumped to have our new best friend Victoria on. This is The Offer. Cesar, you have anything to add before we dive into it?
The key to a happy life is low expectations.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we say that, we have a similar phrase in my line of work where it's under promise and over deliver.
There you go.
This is The Offer, where we over
Victoria's
promise
an undertaker, by the way.
and over deliver all the time. Here we go. Victoria, it's so wonderful to have you on The Offer because I met you in an acting class that we were taking, and I've been on an improv podcast with you, but that's actually not your, what you spend a lot of time doing. And I don't think I've told Cesar. It's kind of a surprise. Would you share with us what you're like, what you do a lot of the time?
That's true. I'm a multifaceted individual. Mm-hmm. In addition to theater and silliness like this, I am not only a veterinarian, but I am an exotic animal veterinarian.
Wow.
Isn't that wild? Exotic animal veterinarian.
Yeah, wild, that's the word.
Wild is a word that comes up a lot.
Now, how do you over-deliver when you're an exotic animal vet?
Well, really, it's a matter of saying, and it's being realistic, but, you go over that things might not get better. So you make sure you tell them what the risks are. So then if it does get better, then they're impressed. Versus if you say, oh, man, this is 100% going to get better. And it doesn't. Then everyone's upset.
Scruff is going to do great.
Yeah, exactly. But if you're like, Scruffy might not do great, and then Scruffy does do great, you look pretty good.
This makes you look amazing.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. And Scruffy got better.
Well, that's the other reason.
Scruffy got better.
2 reasons happy story. Scruffy's okay, and you look awesome saving Scruffy. You look like you saved Scruffy.
Yeah, you're like a miracle worker.
Like a miracle worker. That's exactly it. You just appear to
but
be
not the Helen Keller kind.
Not the because you don't actually.
I don't.
You don't
I have never met a blind and dumb animal and then taught it how to communicate.
You haven't saved a blind and deaf dog. But what is the most...
Well, no, I'll take that back. I don't know if I could say that, but I haven't taught it how to communicate. Because that's really the miracle worker, right?
True.
I never brought it out to a well and it saw water and it was like, water, that's water. So that has yet to happen.
I have a question. It's you do exotic animals, right? What? How exotic are they? Exotic, but they're still legal to have as pets, animals, or black market shit.
For the most part. So it's interesting. That's a great question because I do mostly private practice. So it's not necessarily a lot of zoo animals. So it's a lot of things like parrots and snakes and, all that. But every state has different regulations and some of them are kind of bizarre. You wouldn't expect. You can't have hedgehogs in Georgia or you can't have ferrets in New York or California. So there are some animals that you'd be surprised that you're not supposed to have in different places. So technically some of the animals I see aren't necessarily legal or, there might be, depending on what state they're coming from, there might be some legality issues. But To answer your question, mostly it's stuff like parrots and chickens and ducks and
what's the most
snakes.
illegal animal you had to treat, like in your state?
The most illegal, not the
Yes.
the most illegal. Oh, okay, this is a good point. So I was in North Carolina, and it's interesting in North Carolina, based on the laws, you can own certain exotic animals. So you can legally own a tiger, but you can't own native wildlife. So you can't legally own like a gray squirrel without having a wildlife permit.
You can have like,
but you can
Tony
have like a monkey. Yeah.
Backstage. Yeah.
Yeah. You can have like a monkey, and that's fine.
But not a squirrel.
Yeah. But if you try to say that squirrel's your pet, you know, it's a no-go.
Okay, there's a lot to take here. The phrase that keeps popping into my head is black market veterinarian. Like, just as the starting point for our thing.
Yeah, in the media, I feel like in like movies and stuff, like I always say that's going to be my backup job. Well, think about it. Anytime like a gangster gets shot in a movie and they can't go to the hospital, where do they go?
The black market veterinarian, which is
black market veterinarian.
Yeah, the offer is.
Wait, one last question.
Okay.
If I was a gangster and I was shot and I go to a veterinarian, how likely am I to survive?
That's a good question.
Human anatomy. How easy is it to fix?
It's mostly the same. I've worked on monkeys. It'll be fine. As long as, you just put on like a collar or something and like
I like that
start
much better.
making
it's
noises.
Mostly the same. I worked on monkeys.
You want that to be the offer?
I don't know. Okay. I don't know.
It's mostly the same. I
worked on monkeys.
All right.
I think that phrase is gold.
Our phrase to begin is, it's mostly the same. I worked on monkeys. Okay.
Give me just 1 second. I need to write that down for the quotes.
Okay. All right. You'll have a second because I'm going to play the music.
It's mostly the same. I've worked on monkeys.
I don't know if you know this, Cesar, but this is actually recorded.
It's fine.
That was a great dig. I love that. I can't handle this. All right. It's mostly the same. I worked on monkeys. This is the offer. Here we go.